Okay. Is everybody ready? Good? Okay. Good evening. My name is Detective Sergeant Joe Eaton with the Wenatchee Police Department. I'm one of the PIOs for the Wenatchee Police Department. Tonight we're going to have Chelan County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mike Morrison, give you another update on the investigation. For the record, my name is Sergeant Joe Eaton, Joeeaton, and Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison, Mikemorrison. Tonight he'll deliver his updates, and then at the conclusion of his update, we'll have about 5 minutes for questions. With that, I'll turn it over to Sheriff Morrison.
Thank you, Sergeant. Try not to disturb anyone's microphones here. Do appreciate everyone coming out. We don't have as much information to provide today, but we have been working tirelessly throughout the day with our federal resources, state resources, neighboring agencies. As always, I'd like to start off just by recognizing the Decker family, let them know they're still very much in our thoughts and our prayers. We've been working hard. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia are clearly a motivating force for us. A lot of our guys are working with sleep deprivation, but their thoughts are always on the girls and making sure that we're staying motivated and getting the results the family expects out of us. So, as we mentioned before, not much to go off of. We have been following leads thanks to the FBI and their analysis team that has been going out, processing social media leads throughout the nation, not just here locally. Following up those leads, we've been assigning detectives, marshal services, representatives to go out and do interviews. We also appreciate the nation police departments. We had one in McCall, Idaho today, was doing follow-ups for us. So we're not just keeping our focus here within Chelan County, we're also focusing nationwide on other leads that are coming out. Again, thank you to those police departments, sheriff's offices, state agencies across the nation that have stepped up to assist us and giving us the additional resources that we desperately need. Clearly, this is not the outcome we wanted to see. We were hoping that we could find Travis today, but we are feeling optimistic thanks to our Marshals department that has come through and tracked down some good leads that we feel are giving us more of an insight into Travis's mindset, where he may have not gone or may have gone to. And we'd also like to thank the FBI and their behavioral analysts unit that has also gone through, done an assessment of some of the interviews that we've had regarding Travis and made a determination on maybe what his thought process was, what decisions he might have made, and where he had gone. In addition to our detectives also following through some of the financial documents, tracking areas that he had previously frequented, and we're optimistic that we will find him shortly. We'd also like to thank Spokane County Sheriff's Office for coming out, Sheriff Knowles, having their helicopter fly from 6 o'clock this morning to 11, as I understand it. At 11 o'clock, our helicopter was also on ground at the fish hatchery in Leavenworth to fly the Icicle Creek. We also deployed our swiftwater rescue team to go through there and start searching the creek in cases that Travis did enter in there. The water is running pretty quickly now thanks to the spring runoff, but we're optimistic that with our air units up in the sky, looking over the terrain, is definitely diverse when you're talking about the amount of acreage that we're covering, that we're doing the best we can. We also want to thank Sheriff Myers down in Kittitas County for deploying some of his search and rescue units, checking trailheads on the backside of Chelan County to see if there's any opportunity that Travis might have made it out to that location. We have learned so far through our investigation today that he is well versed in outdoor survival. And talking with his father, it sounds at times that he would go out and would be leaving off grid for sometimes up to 2.5 months. So we also understand too that he at times would do caching. So we understand that that's a possibility that he could have scoped out this area before, put supplies out there, and has the ability and the knowledge to survive for a long period of time. We saw this before a couple years ago when we assisted Kittitas County with a similar case. So we are putting our resources out. We saw our SWAT team today out off the icicle drainage, checking residences through there, in addition to us still having units out on the ground, continuing to check, in addition to expanding out and looking at local counties. So we're going to continue to do what we need to do, partnering with our federal partners. We will again want to say thank you to the FBI, Homeland Security, that has assisted us more yesterday. Also going with the Marshal services, the Washington State Patrol that has been working alongside of us, along with their detective units. And we've also had a forensics electronic detective going through the cell phone and other electronic items that we've collected on the scene. So we're hoping to gather more information, take that intel that we've gathered today, and continue to press on tomorrow. But at this time, we have not found Travis. My message is still the same. Travis, if you're out there seeing us, we'd like you to turn yourself in. We want a peaceful resolution to this, but we're not going to relinquish our efforts and giving up any effort that we can proceed to track you down. So please turn yourself in. Let's wrap this up and do what's right for your kids. So any questions?
Sir, are you any closer to establishing a motive?
No, and I don't think there'd be any motive that'd be acceptable. I mean, clearly, it's not the decision of a sound mind, and these young girls were a victim.
Was a body discovered in this area you're searching near Leavenworth today?
They were discovered earlier this week. It was outside Leavenworth. You're more up ice cold drainage around milepost 18, around Rock Island Campground. And we do have a map that I think we've already shared online, but it is more of a rural campground.
Was there, maybe it's unrelated to the case?
Okay. No, there was another individual that was located today, not related to the case, and that was out towards the Big Y where US 2 and 97 connect, but not related to the case.
Sheriff, you mentioned McCall, Idaho. There were reports of possible sightings, or maybe it was just the fact that the department received tips. Any credibility to some of that? I know you mentioned they did some investigating. What have you learned from that?
I can tell you so far today we had a possible sighting on East Leavenworth Road. We checked that out. It was not Mr. Decker. We had another one out at milepost 83, US 2. And then, of course, we continue to hear information about other possible sightings from across the nation. As we understood, based off the information we got back, was that the sighting in McCall, Idaho was not our suspect, but we'll continue to work with our neighboring agencies, not only here in the state, but across the nation, to help us track down any leads we do get.
What kind of head start do you think he had, knowing the truck was found Monday? When do you think he started to go out?
Worst case scenario, we could see that he might have gotten a head start on Friday, so he would have had the whole weekend to be out there. But we're still tracking it down. We will have our autopsy results. It should be coming back tomorrow, and we'll get a better idea of what kind of time frame we're looking at.
Is there any knowledge that you guys might have of him possibly making his way back to Wisconsin, where he's from?
We're not ruling anything out. So, I mean, we have been in touch with agencies, of course, across the nation, and just tracking down leads. We are aware of other connections he has. We've interviewed friends, co-workers. We're optimistic that we can track down his location.
Sir, he left his truck behind. Did you find in that truck any writing, any note, anything from him?
Our detectives are still going through that process. I know that we worked with the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab yesterday, in addition to our detectives, process all that information. And today, as I was leaving our emergency operations center, we did have members of the Washington State Patrol that were processing some of the cell phones we located in the vehicle.
What military training does he have that could be a factor in his ability to elude authorities?
We do understand, and we're getting more confirmation that he might have possibly gone through mountain survival school, but we also know too that he's been an outdoorsman since he was a kid. Talking with a parent, it seemed like this was something that he was attracted to, liked doing in his free time. So clearly some of the knowledge he's probably acquired throughout his lifetime, in addition to the training he might or might not have acquired through the Army, is something that we're taking into consideration. But we do want to validate what trainings he's actually gone through, and we do have some US Marshals tracking that down as well.
Sheriff, what is your reaction to the fact that he's been out and about, you said, for as long as 2 months? Does that give you room for pause that he is no stranger to being out and living off the grid for so long?
Well, we're certainly an agency that learns from the past. I mean, we saw this before, I believe, around North Bend. I don't know how many years ago that was, where they had an individual who had been involved in a similar incident and then had dug himself a bunker out there. So we take that in consideration, that he may be aware of our surroundings, has the ability to survive, and that's going to certainly make it more challenging, but we're up for that challenge. I mean, we recognize that 87% of our county is not accessible by road. We've been dealing with that over the last 125-year history of this agency, so we're no stranger to that. We're aware of our terrain, and we'll continue to work with our federal partners and U.S. Forest Service that has stepped alongside of us to assist us in possibly closing down some of the trails in the area in order to ensure, of course, that the environment stays safe for anyone who may come to visit, but that we also have access to go through there and start checking all the trails and locations that we believe he may recreate.
Sheriff, the longer this goes on, what concerns do you have about, you talk about the fight or flight mentality and desperation kicks in. Obviously there's that survival skills element of it, but the longer it goes on, I mean, we've seen where things often go. Do you have concerns for whether it be those who are out looking for him, just kind of where this could all come together, and that mentality someone may have when desperation mode kicks in?
We understand the mentality we're dealing with. We have a well-trained agency. We're a leader when it comes to de-escalation here in Washington State. We were one of the original agencies for that training hub, so we understand that we have the ability to control the pace of situations. We have behavioral health units. We have the ability to communicate with them, and we're going to continue to do that. But our primary goal is to track him down. Of course, we want to make sure that he's safe, but ultimately he will be brought to justice.
Sir, now this press conference saying you're confident in the finding quickly. What makes you confident given all these challenges?
the amount of partners that have come alongside of us. I mean, again, I've cited the U.S. Marshals Service, the FBI, we've had Homeland Security investigations, we've had Border Patrol's tracking team here, we've had Douglas County, East Wenatchee. The amount of resources that we put on this right away gives me confidence that we are doing everything possible, in addition to working with the behavioral analyst team and also bringing cadaver dogs. We're open to anything and everything, and so far, despite our limited resources, it's part of our mission statement with the resources entrusted to us. I think that a lot of people have come alongside us to help us out. That's why I'm optimistic. So we're not doing it alone.
Sheriff, you said that you've been in contact with his father. What has that interaction been like with his immediate loved ones? What are they telling you about their reaction to this immense tragedy? How are they handling it?
They're frustrated with the situation, clearly, but this is their son. So of course that they have concerns about his safety, but overall they understand that he does have to be brought in and he has to be held accountable for his actions.
One more question, please. One more question.
Sheriff, I just wanted to clarify, you said that with this survival skills coming to light here, how does that change moving forward as we get further and further into this investigation on your guys' search process?
Well, we understand that he can cover a lot of ground. I mean, certainly based off what I know from him, he's in decent shape, and he has the ability to go out there, which if anyone's been out in that part of the county, it's thick. So it's going to make it more challenging for us to locate him, and especially if he's knowledgeable and he knows how to conceal himself. That will make a unique challenge for us. But we feel pretty confident in bringing members of Border Patrol in too, with their experience of working in more diverse terrain, especially along our Canadian border. We have people who are experts in that field as well, and also excel and have the military training as well. I mean, we recognize he's not a subject matter expert. I'm not going to glorify him in that sense. I do appreciate his service, but overall, we have other men and women who are assisting us who are also military veterans and have that kind of background and experience. And I would certainly point out our Forest Service deputy that was able to immediately locate it as soon as we got information about a general area where he's at. We're up for that challenge. So, thank you.
Okay, for our media partners, I do have a contact sheet that I'd like to have completed. That way we can easily follow up with each of our media partners. So at the conclusion of this, you can find me if you haven't already signed it. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your time, and we'll plan additional updates in the hours and days to come. Thank you.
Nothing set at this point as far as updates?
Not to my knowledge, no.